What's up, guys? Darryl Lennington here from techlout.co.za, and I'm here with Partho Mishra from Aruba, who's going to be discussing a little bit about machine learning. We're going to go in depth into it, and let's chat about it. So what's Aruba doing in the machine learning space at the moment?
Well, what we are doing is we are applying machine learning for two specific problems. The first one is something that we've been focused on for about the last 4 years, how you can use data that's collected from wireless networks to make it easier to run the wireless networks, and more importantly, to allow users to have a better experience, to give us visibility into what's happening with users on the network. So that's kind of one big application. The second application is in the area of security analytics. Imagine that you have IoT devices that are going rogue in your network, or maybe someone's hacked into it. Is there a way in which you can look at all that data, make sense of it, and go like, hey, that's abnormal, something incorrect is happening, and use that as a way of triggering alerts that either go to a human being or to some other system that's analyzing these alerts.
So clearly machine learning has to do with a lot about security.
Well, not necessarily. The way I would describe it is machine learning has a lot to do with being able to crunch massive amounts of data and pull patterns out of it. Now, once you crunch the data and pull the patterns out, you can use the patterns to say, hey, something weird is going on, so my device must have been hacked, or something weird is going on, maybe something's broken in my network which is affecting my users, I need to go do something to fix it, and so on and so forth. So it's really data extraction or analysis from a ton of the data that we collect.
Okay, so if you could give the top 5 benefits of machine learning, what would they be?
Well, I would say, the most important benefit is that human beings are not able to process gigabytes and gigabytes of data daily. Machines are. And so at the very least, with machine learning, what you have is systems that can crunch data, bubble up insights, and then feed it to expert humans. So at the very least, that's a clear advantage. The second thing that happens with machine learning is, out of all of the data, you can detect patterns. So the patterns then tell you various things. For example, one thing the pattern might tell you is, are there certain things that are similar? Think of Netflix. When Netflix is recommending movies to you that you like, it's because it's figured out that there's someone else in the world, or maybe several people in the world, who are exactly like Darryl. So in much the same way, in our domain, you can think of machine learning as being able to find network infrastructure. For example, one network which looks exactly like another 100 networks. So then you can use the information that's been gathered about those 100 networks to figure out, is this one network performing well? If not, what's wrong with it? So finding equivalencies in machine learning literature, it's usually called clustering or classification, is a second kind of key advantage. A third one is, with machine learning, what you can do is you can pick out patterns. So what I mean by that is, imagine that we are all walking back and forth between these two buildings. Imagine if there's a group of people who are having a problem, and they're all having exactly the same problem. Now, if you look at them in isolation, IT is overwhelmed. They are having thousands of alerts. But if there was a way in which you could cluster them together and said, hey, you know what? Those things are really the same, because there's an underlying similarity. And then you go to IT with an actionable insight which says, all these users are suffering from the same problem, and this is what you need to do to fix it. So I didn't give you 5, I gave you 3, but let's just start with that.
Okay, and then just to finish things off, what is Aruba offering when it comes to machine learning, and how are they going to be assisting companies?
Well, our primary focus, I would say, is making it easier to deploy and run networks. And so much of the focus of what we are doing in the realm of machine learning, or more broadly, the products and services that we are developing, is really meant to allow that. How can you make it such that networks don't require a whole lot of manual intervention? They don't require people to go and handhold the deployments and take care of things. So it's that process of automation's always been the holy grail in networking. This is not new, it's been around for like 30 years. Wireless is particularly hard, and I'd say Wi-Fi is particularly hard because it's all shared spectrum and you have a network that's running just fine, and then lo and behold, someone comes and does something on that same spectrum, and there goes your service, right? So I would say that's the number one priority for us, to use the technology that's available to us, but to use it and direct it in a way that helps our customers design and deploy their networks, and most importantly, run them with a lot less manual intervention than what's typical today.
So there we have it. We have IoT, machine learning. We've also got a bit of security happening here at Aruba Atmosphere, which is currently being held at Paris in Disneyland. I'm Daryl Linnington. Partho, I'd like to thank you so much for taking the time to chat to me about this.
Great to talk to you, Daryl.
Thank you.